Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Voice Podcast. My name is Jonathan Mwale Jonas, your host, and today I'm joined by Abel Mkandawire, a University of Zambia, student. And today we are going to talk about two things: a Zambian dream and American dream. And Abel will help us to understand what these two things are. Welcome, Abel.
Thank you, Mr. Jonathan.
Sure, and thank you so much for accepting, our invitation here at the Voice Podcast.
Yeah, it's good to be here and share my perspective with everyone.
Sure. So, who is Abel Mkandawire? When you talk about Abel, who is Abel to start with?
Not someone of very much high status, just a student at the University of Zambia. I'm a second year media and journalism student.
Where do you come from? Want to understand your background? Where do you come from?
Yeah, I just come from. I don't know how I can explain my background. It's something I don't usually disclose that much.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just that boy from the trenches. As you can see.
Okay, coming into today's topic, Abel, we are talking about the Zambian dream and also, an American dream. Now, why do you think, young Zambians or Africans today, they move instead of staying in their own country, they move, to other countries, like going abroad?
Yeah, first of all, I would say it's very much good to explore.
Mm-hmm.
Moving from your home country, going to different other countries, it's not a bad thing.
Okay.
Even people from abroad, they come here, they explore, and they go
Okay.
back, they go develop their countries. Some stay forever, but much of the people
Mm-hmm.
just come to explore, just come for fun, they go back and stuff.
Okay.
So what I would say is a lot of people nowadays, especially the young ones,
Mm-hmm.
have been instilled with that mindset to say, when they go abroad, that's where they will find a better life, other than they are living here in Zambia. You get it, right? Or maybe in Africa at large. So now, here is the thing. There is what we call an American dream. I won't say maybe there is a textbook definition of the American dream. I don't know, but I'll say it the way I understand it.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you talk about an American dream, it's just a belief that Americans have to say each and every American can achieve greater things, or they can achieve a better life. You get me? They can achieve a better life.
Mm-hmm.
And that better life can just come through determination and maybe hard work and stuff. So, meaning the American dream consists of things like you can talk about having a good job, a well-paying job, or maybe a good running business.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe having a good education and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
You get me, right? So now, Americans have got a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that if America is heaven on earth, why do you think there is an American dream? So which simply means what we get, especially what is projected on the media, like what is instilled in us, is not what's happening that side.
So you mean that the media has got an effect on
it has got an effect.
Okay.
What the media shows us. I listen to most of some US, UK rap. There is an artist called Central C in one of his songs.
Yeah.
He said, the UK is not what you see in the movies.
Okay.
You get, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you see in the movies.
Okay.
Quite all right, yeah, it has got some better infrastructure, but the kind of living as well. The same way here in Zambia, we complain about the lifestyle, the cost of living and whatever. That's the same way people complain in those areas. You get me, right? Then we have the Zambian dream. So when you talk about the Zambian dream, it's also a belief that each and every Zambian can achieve a better life, So if Zambia has got a Zambian dream and America has got an American dream, we all have got dreams. But people feel like maybe if they leave this country and go there, that's where they will find heaven on earth.
Okay.
But that's not how it is.
It's so surprising that we also seen some Americans coming here to Zambia, which means there is something happening.
Very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So each and every person or each and every country has got their own dream.
It has got their own dream.
Okay.
But mostly the bad part is that we feel like we feel like the American dream maybe. Okay, the thing is that we don't know that it's an American dream. We feel like it's an American reality. But it's an American dream.
No, that's every African person dream.
Yeah.
Say, I need to go somewhere, America. I go to Canada, this and that.
For sure.
So which one do you prefer now? Which one do you prefer? You yourself, when it comes to investing, do you prefer investing in your own country, or maybe investing, like living in an American dream?
Okay, so it's away from politics, but
Okay.
I will say this: away from politics.
Okay.
I don't like politicians.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is very simple, right? Hakainde Hichilema. I don't know when is President Hakainde Hichilema.
He's present right
President
now. Yes.
Hakainde Hichilema. Yeah, but now I'm not talking about him as a politician, just a mere
Just giving an example.
So, President Hakainde Hichilema, I remember we went to the Youth Indaba in Mulungushi conference.
Yes, I was there. I remember.
You were there, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he said one thing. He and his colleagues went abroad. I don't know if it's in the UK or the US to go and study. I don't know if it's their masters and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So they went there. What happened? He told his friends to say, when I finish this, I'm getting back home. You get, right?
I remember that.
Yes. So what happened? His friends were like, or his colleagues were like, no, let's stay here, because they found the comfort there, which they didn't find in Zambia.
Okay.
You get me, right? Yeah. So they found the comfort there. So now, Mr. Hichilema said, I'm going back in Zambia, guys. Opportunities are back home.
Back home, exactly.
So, what am I trying to say? Going abroad, yeah, it's very much, sometimes it can be important. Let's say, for example, your education, your business and stuff. But investing in your own country is very much important.
Okay.
That's the reason why Hakainde Hichilema today is the president. And I'm not saying he failed, but even if he fails maybe to deliver, I will understand to say, okay, he's someone who loves his country. Okay. Because he left saying, guys, opportunities are back home, and he's investing. Look at his resources. Look at his wealth. It's something which is...
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's within our prospect. We can see to say, okay, he's a wealthy man.
Okay.
Yeah. Even through stories, through what we hear from people narrate his stories.
So right now you're talking about now being like Pan-Africanism, whereby each and every person should be, investing in their own...
Should be investing in their own countries. People should go, you should go to different countries. You should explore. And whatever you explore, you should come back to your country. And you should invest in your country.
Yeah. So,
because your country has got a dream as well.
Okay.
Which they want to fulfill.
So what do you think is the benefit of investing in your own country?
Your roots are directly in your country.
Okay. Like everything about your country.
You know everything about you. Or let's say you have a family, right? You have a family in your country. Or maybe that's where, if each and every problem comes, okay, let's say, let me ask you one thing. You are in the US, something bad happens. Who is going to look after you?
It's not, because I've heard that side, each and every person, they live on their own.
Yes.
There's nothing like my neighbor this and that.
Here we go to our neighbors' places, we ask for salt, we ask for whatever, especially us from the...
There's an aspect of we want to hear in Zambia. Okay.
You get, right?
I understand. So like, is it possible, for example, here in Zambia, is it possible for someone, a youth, to build wealth with this, African, mindset, to say, without a foreign mindset? Is it possible?
It's absolutely possible.
Okay.
Okay, so here I'm going to talk about two things.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about mindset, and I'm going to talk about just an idea.
Okay.
You get, right? Just right now, recently, I've just talked about how Mr. Hakainde Hichilema went there to get ideas and came back to implement those ideas in Zambia. I'll give an example of another person. Look at Yo Maps.
Okay.
Right? When Yo Maps started his music journey, a lot of people were saying, initially, he was tolerated, right? A lot of people tolerated him to say, okay, this is Yo Maps, he sings this song, he sings this. But as time goes on, I think in the early 2020s, people started saying, this guy, aimbache nyimbo za mchinyanja. He doesn't sing nyimbo za mchizungu.
Exactly, I remember that.
You remember, right?
Yeah.
But even me, myself, I was like, but Yo Maps, at least maybe he could sing a song kamchizungu.
Okay.
But you find that when Yo Maps went on and did a song with maybe Iyanya, that Nigerian artist.
Oh yeah, exactly.
He was mixing up some nyanja and stuff. So what I came to understand is this. People always think if you implement like a foreign mindset, that's when you can be successful. but that's not true. Yo Maps is using his local language, and look at what he has achieved as an artist. Look at Chilewan. The biggest artists here in Zambia are singing in their own local languages. People would come up. Okay, we're not having a debate about music, right? But people would come up and tell you to say, okay, there is Sampa the Great. She's pulling crowds in the UK where she is. But the thing is, you can't tell me Sampa the Great better artist than Yo Maps. Yo Maps is using his own Zambian mindset. He might have gotten an idea. Maybe when it comes to his dress code, that's just an idea. Maybe he got from somewhere foreign, from some foreign artists and stuff. But the whole mindset is just like rooted from here, and that's how he developed things. So it's very easy, like to have a like a local mindset and just develop yourself. It's very easy. Just like I've given you a point on you.
Okay, I understand. You're explaining these things, very well. Like right now I can see to say, yeah, like it is indeed possible, because each and every person right now has got that mindset. Say, okay, I need to do my things abroad. Maybe that's why I can do better. But right now, I'm able to to understand what you are talking about. We need to change the way we think as Zambians, and indeed as Africans.
One last thing based on this. Actually, I'm not saying we should shun away from that dream of going abroad. What I'm trying to say is that we need to implement the mindset we have. But let's say you have you have maybe an opportunity to go and do something abroad. You know that's business. What I'm trying to say is, when you get that opportunity and you're living a better life that side, you can just stay there and do the business. But if to say, I just want to go abroad, and maybe there is nothing, it has nothing to do with business, it has nothing to do with job, work, whatsoever, just stay here and enjoy the peace.
So is it okay for someone to move from Zambia, they go, maybe is it to the US, they're doing their business there, but they are investing here in their own country? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's very much okay.
So when it's like that, it's just cool.
It's just okay, as long as you just don't forget your roots. That's very much important.
So the key, remember where you are coming from.
You remember where you're coming from.
Okay, like right now here, for example, in Zambia, like, what do you think can attract youths to say, what can make this Zambian dream attractive to the Zambian youth, without thinking to say, okay, there is this American dream? What do you think the changes we can make to make sure that the Zambian dream is attractive to the Zambian youths, or indeed to everyone here in Zambia?
I think it starts, because I wouldn't say it should start with elderly people. Those are already maybe into that mindset. So it should start with us, the youths, because we are the ones who have started understanding to say, you can actually make it with the Zambian mindset.
Okay.
Just like I have said about Yo Maps. Yo Maps said, like, has it to himself to say, I can make it with this Zambian mindset I have. So me as a youth, I had to look at Yo Maps and be like, oh, he made it with a Zambian mindset, and I learned from him.
Yeah.
You get, right? So it takes, so if me right here, I learned, and I put it to myself to say, okay, even me, I'll make it with a Zambian mindset. Another person will learn. Learning, this thing is a systematic thing. I won't be too unrealistic and say, I will do this, we have to do this and this, do this and that. But I will say, from a few who are implementing the Zambian mindset, I feel like we can learn a lot from them.
Okay.
Yes.
We can learn a lot from these people who have,
from these people who are implementing the Zambian mindset.
Okay, like, let's take it now locally. For example, is it okay? For example, we've seen some, like, for example, you're talking about artists here.
Yes.
So, for example, we've seen some artists, for example, from Chingola, from there, a blower, they come to Osaka. How do you, what is your comment?
Even like in the US, when you go there, there is New York. It's called the land of opportunities.
Exactly.
Because it's more like the center of business. You get, right? So I would say this is how Lusaka is. Lusaka is called the land of opportunities. I remember Bobby sang in a song to say, "Welcome to Lusaka, the land of opportunities." So you find that, there are a lot of people who are in Lusaka. Let's talk about me. The reason why I started coming to Lusaka very often is because of this same school.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
I just didn't wake up like, okay, let me just wake up. Maybe when I'm trying to come, maybe to have some fun, I would come to Lusaka. But I'm just from Chongwe, and it's just near. It's just like the same vicinity, I would say.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But I never came to Lusaka just for, I'm moving just around. School brought me here.
There is business.
So a lot of people who come to Lusaka, they come for business. When people order things maybe from different countries, when they arrive here in Zambia, here is the spot.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people just get it from Lusaka and they spread out to other. And Lusaka is not even at the center of Zambia. I don't know, maybe Nganikumbari, I don't know. Yeah,
You're
but
right.
it's called the land of opportunities. Each and every country has got that land of opportunities, and it's not a place to make your official residence. Let me put it that way.
Okay. I understand. So if you've just joined us, this is the Voice Podcast, and today I'm joined, by Abel Mkandawire, a University of Zambia student who is doing journalism, and he is explaining to us, two things, which is, the Zambian dream and also an American dream. And so far, I've seen that he has talked about a lot of things, and which can enable Zambian youths, to change their mindset of building, their wealth outside there. Instead, they should be doing everything here in Zambia. So, Abel, in a case where you've been given a chance to change, for example, let's say 3 things or more, which things do you think you can change to make, these, Zambian youths, achieve, their success?
I
If you
don't
had to be
think
given like 3 things, the chance to change things, which one do you think you can change to make this Zambian dream attractive?
I don't think I actually do not think there are even 3 things I would change realistically.
Okay.
Right? Sometimes change just doesn't change is systematic. It doesn't come just from nowhere to say, okay, if I do this, I do that. If I want to be realistic and be in that normative, I don't have to start dreaming to say, I'll change this, I'll change that, I'll do. But one thing I would say, I don't know if I'm running away from the topic, but one thing I would say is this. One thing I would wish in this country is that, or maybe globally, or I would say in Africa, mostly, I would say, as much as we are taught to become leaders, we need to be taught what to expect from leaders.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. Because when someone is teaching you and me to be a leader, or maybe we are the 3 of us, someone is teaching us to be leaders. Maybe one of us will be a leader and one of us won't be leaders.
Exactly. You're right.
That's the thing, right? And now, the 2 of us need to be taught what to expect from a leader. So what I'm trying to say is this. Most of the times we feel like it will take the president to give us that Zambian dream. You get, right? Because we don't know what to expect from a leader. So here is the thing. You find that we elect, for example, a president, and we want, maybe, I don't know if it's subsidies, I don't know if we just want freebies, some free things, so that maybe we can get that dream that we want. You get, right? But it has to do with ourselves. The reason why we think that leader needs to change our lives completely is because we don't know what to expect. We don't know to an extent to which that leader is supposed to deliver his or her work. So I don't think I'll say I would change much, but one thing I would wish for is for people to be taught what to expect from a leader. Because if I know to say, I'm not expecting money, a leader to be giving me money like the president, then I'll know that, okay, it's me who is supposed to work and bring that thing, like it's me who is supposed to change my mindset and do great things in this country.
Okay, so now the leaders now are now involved in this, issue of changing the mindset.
Yeah, it's very much, I would say, the leaders, yeah, the leaders can be involved. But that's the reason why I'm saying, as we are young, as we are growing up, we also need to be taught what to really expect from those leaders. Because if we know what to an extent to which those leaders would deliver, then we'll know to say, okay, if that leader didn't do that, okay, it's not his fault. It's us, the people, who are supposed to do that. That's how it's supposed to go.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say I would like this to change this. I would just wish, like, yeah.
In a case whereby you are given chance to have financial freedom here in America and in Zambia, which one would you prefer?
I feel like maybe if at some point I get to have an opportunity to go to a certain country, or maybe to the US, to be specific, provided I'm not suffering that side, I would be there. And from the beginning, I've been saying to say we are not shunning away from going to those places, because we follow opportunities. What I've been trying to say all along is that we need to invest in the dream we have in Zambia. And you can't go to a place you are suffering, then you're just staying there. While it's in your country, you can live peacefully.
Yeah, because we've heard some stories. People that when they go there, they suffer. The others, they come, sex workers, this and that.
There's exploitation.
Oh, exactly. Yeah,
there is exploitation in those places, because they know to say you don't have a relative maybe in this place, especially if you look helpless. They don't know. Let's talk about recently. There is a story about a Zambian footballer, Lamek Banda. So Lamek Banda, according to the leaks, the news that we got is that Lamek Banda was being exploited in that team, the Serie A team, which he was playing for. That's Lecce. He was being exploited. He wasn't given much of his wages and stuff. So Lamek Banda had to terminate his contract. And where is Banda had to terminate his contract? And where is Lamek Banda right now? Lamek Banda is in Libya playing. I don't know if it's Awasweli. I don't know that's
the name of the league.
Yeah. So now Lamek Banda is in Africa. So a lot of people would come and ask to say, okay, why is it that he left America? He left Europe and came back to Africa, whereby a lot of people would dream to go and play football abroad. A lot of people would dream to play the Champions League and stuff. But Lamek Banda decided to leave Lecce and started playing for a league which is in Africa. People would ask, but because of the exploitation, he just came back. So it's the same as me. If there where I am, I'm not getting what I want to get, I just need to be here in my country. I just have to invest in that Zambian dream and just live. I would be staying as long as I'm eating, as long as everything is just okay. I'm managing my needs and stuff, because, and this is the thing, when you talk about maybe things like the cost of living, you find that in those countries, the cost of living is very much. Here in Zambia, we complain about the cost of living. But if we go to different countries, Italy, we go to the US, we go to the UK, the taxes and the tax fixation is very much terrible. And we're enjoying something here in this country, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. So as we are concluding, today's topic of, the Zambian dream and also the, American dream, or the dream of going abroad, what advice can you give to, African youth, or indeed, Zambian youth, for those who would want to, to go abroad, to go and, do certain things, or maybe to go and live there and live their country here?
I'm not very much good at advice.
Okay.
That's the thing. I'm not very much good at advice. Okay. Otherwise, I like giving perspective and perspectives, and let people buy into it, or maybe just dispose it if they want. Okay. But what I would say is, just like I said initially, I've been saying we are not shunning away from the dream of going to the US and, pursuing that dream of you going abroad. People go there for fun, some go there for business, some go there just some vacations, So what I would say is, if an opportunity comes, maybe it's a scholarship, maybe whatever kind of opportunities, maybe it's a job opportunity, just go there and do your things. But make sure you don't face any exploitations. And make sure that you are in contact with maybe your relatives, your friends, and you are making something which you know to say, okay, even if I'm here, even if things get bad, even if things maybe get to be bad, I can be able to turn back and go home safely. Yeah, that's the thing. And we shouldn't have the mindset to say, we'll never make it like those people are making it, because just because they are not from your country. You know, people only see the success. They only see the biggest advantage of being somewhere, but they don't see the biggest disadvantage, the worst disadvantage of being somewhere.
No.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's good. That's great insight, Abel.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Otherwise, that brings us to the end of the Voice Podcast today. You were with me, Jonathan Mwale Jonas, your host, and I was joined by Abel Mkandawire, a student right here at the University of Zambia, where he was sharing, his insight about the Zambian dream and also an American dream. Thank you so much. See you in the next video of the Voice Podcast. Continue watching.